From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, August the 8th, 2024. Israeli troops continue to battle terror group Hamas and other terrorist groups in Gaza. Over the past day, the IDF said today the Air Force has attacked dozens of terrorist targets throughout the Gaza Strip, including on Hamas terror centers embedded within 2 schools in Gaza. The IDF said the areas were being used as command and control compounds for the terrorist organization, for terrorists and commanders from which the Hamas terrorists planned and carried out terrorist acts against the IDF forces and the State of Israel. The IDF said prior to the strike, numerous steps were taken to mitigate the risk of harming civilians, and reiterated that Hamas systematically violates international law, exploiting civilian structures and their population as human shields. The IDF also said in the last week its forces located and destroyed rocket launch pits that were located not far from the largest fuel depot in Gaza used by its residents, and noted that any damage to the facility could endanger the lives of tens of thousands of Gazan citizens who are in the area of the fuel reservoir. The IDF said it did not damage the fuel tank when destroying the rocket launch pits. And the IDF continues to defend its northern border with Lebanon, responding to rocket attacks from terror group Hezbollah. Today, a total of some 25 rockets were fired from Lebanon at the Western Galilee. At the time of the taping of this newscast, no injuries were reported. The IDF responded to the attacks with Israeli fighter jets and aircraft of the Air Force hitting a rocket launcher, a terrorist squad, military buildings, and a number of terrorist infrastructures of Hezbollah. U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller was asked by a member of the press during a briefing yesterday about the situation in Israel and the Middle East and concern about possible escalation. This amid threats against Israel from Iran and its terror proxies, including Hamas and Hezbollah. Miller responded saying the U.S. was engaging in very intense diplomacy with allies and partners in the region to make clear that no one should escalate this conflict. Also saying the U.S. was continuing to push to get the hostage deal talks over the finish line.
The message that we are sending to everyone is, look, this is obviously a very delicate time for the region. Tensions are high. We are in the final stages, hopefully, of a ceasefire deal. And escalation has the potential to make every problem the region faces worse. And so the message that we are impressing upon everyone in the region is that no party should take any steps to escalate this conflict.
The hostages kidnapped by Hamas terrorists during its massacre on October the 7th have now been held for 307 days. And with the surge in anti-Semitism here in the U.S. since Hamas's massacre, the New York Police Department reported 30 anti-Semitic incidents across the city in July, which is 3 times higher than the same month last year. The New York Jewish Week for the JTA reported, saying the data revealed last month Jews were targeted in more hate incidents than all other groups combined, as they have been, it said, nearly every month since October of last year. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, August the 8th. At 7 o'clock, it's the 2024 Brooklyn Jewish Hall of Fame Awards ceremony. At 9, Sheldon Harnick on L'chaim. At 10, Jane Ziegelman talks about the habits of immigrants living in Lower East Side tenements in the early part of the 20th century. At 10:30, an encore of the news, and coming up next, FIDF CEO Steve Weil welcomes social worker, supervisor, and national coordinator for the Israeli Ministry of Defense, Yael Milnizki, to discuss the unique programs and responses her team is creating to meet the needs of Israeli families today. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, August the 8th, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.